Summer is here. Do you know how much water your landscape needs? You might be surprised because less is more. Mandatory summer watering restrictions are in effect May through August, and that means no watering from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and never on Sundays. Slowly increase watering your grass from 3 to 4 days a week and only add more days if you need it. For drip irrigated plants and trees, 4 days a week is plenty. Find water-saving tips at snwa.com. SNWA is a not-for-profit water agency.
A 100 years after Prohibition in the City of Sin, that's us, speakeasies are thriving once again, but there's not much secret and nothing illegal about them. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, I talk with our newsletter editor Rob Kachelriess and my co-host culinary historian Sarah Lohman about how the term speakeasy has crept back into our popular culture, where to find them in Las Vegas, and which ones are worth the hassle. It's Tuesday, May 20th. I'm Dayvid Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. When I hear speakeasy, I think knock on the door, secret password, liquor that tastes like lighter fluid, and everybody scram, it's the coppas. Sarah, depiction in movies aside, how prevalent was the speakeasy movement during Prohibition?
The speakeasy movement. Well, first of all, hi, Rob. I'm sorry I'm going to take over.
Hi, don't mind me.
First.
I'm here sipping on a Boulevardier.
Ooh, I wish.
Look at
As
you,
research.
sir.
Not really. But
Okay.
I
I'm
should
going to
be.
go stir up some bee's knees. Be right back.
No password needed.
So diving into this, I was a little surprised because the term speakeasy, I think like everyone, I assumed this was like a Prohibition term, like a 1920s term. It goes back to at least the 19th century and originated in like Ireland or England as a term for an unlicensed bar. So, yeah, so there have been unlicensed bars all over since long before Prohibition.
So if my permit expires, am I now officially a speakeasy?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, not officially, it's colloquial language, but that is exactly, when we're talking about how many speakeasies were there during Prohibition. Well, as soon as selling alcohol was made illegal, every bar
All of
still
them.
operating was now an unlicensed bar, right? So instantly, there were hundreds of thousands of speakeasies. But while some of them were the glamorous stuff of movies, most of them were like people's living rooms or like a storage shed. Oh, there was one, Figler, you'll like this. There was one I was reading about in New York, which is going to come up again later, I think, that was referred to only as Behind Ratner's. And Ratner's was a Jewish dairy restaurant that opened in like 1905 and was open until 2002.
Oh, so they had the back room. So during your research, Sarah, did you find any speakeasies in Las Vegas in ye oldie days?
Totally. I mean, I should add, too, that the ones in Las Vegas were not serving fancy cocktails. Cocktails did come back into vogue during Prohibition because the alcohol was so bad. You had to mask the flavor with some citrus or some sugar, just like in the bee's knees, which is gin, honey, and citrus. It's a take on a gin sour, essentially. And it was probably invented in Paris. The Cuba Libre was also invented this time. So just like, in this case, rum and Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola and alcohol. All the American bartenders left America and started working overseas. And so that's why we're seeing these cocktails come up in other places.
But here in Vegas, are we more like looking at, hey, give me a shot of whiskey and
I think so.
Maybe an ice cube if I'm lucky?
We were just so rural. Probably an ice cube. We were so rural. However, we were a train depot and we had an ice factory since like 1903 or something like that. So ice, I do think, was pretty readily available here. The alcohol was supplied by local moonshiners. And actually, one of the mayors of Las Vegas, Mayor Fred Hess, who was mayor from 25 until 31, was arrested for operating a still. So there was some local enforcement here. However, Prohibition enforcement was federal. And the closest federal prohibition office was in Los Angeles, and people just didn't want to come here. So Reno definitely saw a lot more of the policing than we did here in Southern Nevada. So like nothing much changed from what I've been able to find out. Like the places, the gambling halls, the brothels, and the bars that were serving alcohol just kept serving alcohol. And occasionally some agents from LA would roll in and shut everything down, and that would kind of be it.
Well, also, this is like pre-tourism Las Vegas. I mean, we were basically a railroad town full of workers just looking to take the edge off after a long day.
We're just too far from anything.
Yeah, cost of doing business. My guess is it was very sporadically enforced. And in fact, there's a really cool page on it at the Mob Museum's website to check out Vegas during the Prohibition times. We were a little laxed, as one can imagine.
And from what I understand, the Nevada Assembly repealed Prohibition on a state level before it happened nationwide. So we were kind of like, well, if the feds want to enforce it, they can. But we were still a relatively small community, just a railroad worker community with our red light district. And I think it was pretty much open as opposed to other cities where it was more discreet with the speakeasies.
All right, well, let's get to the modern speakeasy movement.
Sure.
Where did it start and why and when did it come to Las Vegas?
Yeah, the why I think is much more up for debate, the why it came here, and I would love to ask you about that. Basically, the Oxford Encyclopedia has a alcohol compendium, and according to like the Master Guide to All Things Booze in America, the first sort of modern speakeasy. Okay. There's this place called Angel Share. It was in Manhattan. I'm not sure if it still is. It was for a long time. It was in a little Tokyo neighborhood. 1993 is when it opened, and it was a secret kind of Japanese tiki bar in the back of a restaurant. And so, Dayvid, you and I were I asked you and Rob, like, what are the first sort of like, I asked Speakeasy, but let's just talk like secret or hidden. What were some of the first like secret hidden bars you remember and like kind of about what era?
Well, I've only been in Vegas since like 2012. So
yeah, Dayvid, this is a you. We need a 90s expert here.
Yeah, because it sounds like the 90s was where they were really missing drinking in hidden places.
Well, I will say this about the 90s, especially hanging around in the art scene, that there were a lot of places that people would go to that served liquor without licenses,
This is a
and they
good
were
point.
kind of known for that.
Like the house party actually evolved in the 1920s because you needed a place to have alcohol and they would charge for it. Or like the rent party, right? That's where you throw a big party to make your rent.
Well, it was definitely part of the scene, especially in the 90s, where you're looking for places where underground bands and poetry and all that stuff would happen. And some were a little bit more outrageous than others. I remember there was one that was kind of down on the east side, and it was a guy and his mother, and the mother would make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and sell them. And then there was a cooler.
That sounds great.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there was a cooler that was always filled with beer, and you'd have to leave money for it if you went in there. But then upstairs, in true Vegas fashion in the 90s, they sold meth. So
peanut butter jelly, beer, and meth.
Yeah, no, that was kind of the way it went.
Just a mother and son operation.
Somebody else is doing this today. We just don't know where.
Yeah, this is a true story. I mean, this was a place on Charleston.
Beer, Barter, and Mall is a new concept where you can shop for antiques and art while you drink beer and wine. You can buy, sell, or barter your goods, services, and treasures. I actually got to stop in and check out this place before it even opened. It was so cool. It was like craft beer bar meets antique mall. I saw this amazing vintage pendulum lamp I wanted, and this other girl bought this like brass tortoise cigarette holder. It was so cute. The space is nearly 10,000 square feet, and there's over 30 vendors in there, including antique vendors and local artists. Barter Mall was created because the rent in the arts district is so expensive right now, and it's forced the antique malls and the art dealers out of the area. So art culture and community, it's just so important to downtown Las Vegas, so Barter is trying to do their part to make sure it's a place where artists will be able to continue to thrive. They're open 5 days a week right now, but by the end of the summer, they're going to be open 7 days a week. So check out barterlv.com to learn more, or hey, just stop on by, grab a beer, and do a little bit of shopping.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
Okay, so all that being said, it seems like there was something happening that New York made official in 93, and that bar is credited with being the inspiration for Milk and Honey, which opened up in 1999 in Manhattan. And that is the first space that was both secret and had a secret entrance and pulled decorative elements from the 1920s. And I think today, speakeasy means one of those two things. Occasionally
It's a marketing
both.
term.
It's a marketing term that's, it's really changed meaning. So I've noticed that both abroad and here in Vegas, people, when they say speakeasy, they either mean a bar that has pulled from like Art Deco style, or they're a secret bar. But the first one was essentially both.
Well, like all good trends in the country, eventually they land in Las Vegas, where I think Rob will be the first to say we run them into the ground.
I won't be the last.
Yeah, we're still so into these.
We certainly didn't invent bottle service, but we ruined it.
Yeah.
The first actual, hidden bar, or you have to know or call someone to get into it or whatever, to me, I think was up in the Inspire Theater, which is on Fremont and Las Vegas Boulevard, part of the Tony Hsieh revolution.
The now closed Inspire.
Now closed, but up on the second floor, there was a little secret spot that only held maybe 6 to 8 people. It was called Tokyo 365, and they made really super fancy cocktails and stuff, very above and beyond. And then somewhere around that time, the laundry room over at the Commonwealth opened up, and that also was considered to be kind of a secret.
I was going to mention the laundry room because, Rob, you mentioned that one too. When I asked you to, what's the oldest one you can remember? That does seem to be the oldest.
Well, the first thing that came to mind was downtown cocktail room, but does that really qualify as a speakeasy? So. It has certain vibes, and then it had that kind of trick door.
Door.
What
the idea
mean?
was if you were a little too drunk and walking by, you couldn't open that door easily.
Okay. So then there was Commonwealth, which opened in 2002, and that was a bar also in Fremont Street, right?
Fremont East.
Yeah, that had laundry room. Mm-hmm.
Right. But that didn't open when Commonwealth opened. So I don't know when the laundry room opened, but that would be the first speakeasy because it was a secret bar with 1920s vibes. I mean, now it's not secret anymore. They just attached it to Commonwealth. But that would probably be it.
But if you're actually inside Commonwealth, you're not going to find it easily because it is kind of a secret entrance from inside. And then there's a quiet entrance outside.
Rob, if I've had enough drinks, any bar's a speakeasy. Cannot find it easily.
Right.
You can't get out. You can't get in.
All right. Well, let's get to the roundup of the speakeasies that are currently existing in Las Vegas because there's so many of them. Maybe name a couple of your favorites and why.
Well, should we start with laundry room? Because I feel like that's the one that really does get it right.
I haven't been. So you guys have to tell me about it.
I love it. I mean, it comes with a few rules. You're not supposed to have your phone out. I think it's if you need to text your friend, go ahead, but no photos. No PDA. I think this is a relatively
No PDA?
No
I'm
PDA. This is a relatively new rule, I think. The last time I went there, I was required to order some gourmet popcorn, and it wasn't complimentary. You had to actually pay for it.
What the hell are these rules?
But you know what? I was totally fine with it. It's great drinks. It's a good vibe. You really need to have a reservation because it does fill up very quickly, especially on busy nights. But now you can go on their website and make a reservation, and it's a lot easier. But the drinks are fantastic. It's vintage decor. They know what they're doing.
I just want to add one little component to it is that if you're walking on 6th Street, right, just south of Fremont, you'll see the door because it has all the grungy, punk rocky stickers and stuff on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's where that is.
One of my favorites, I'd say probably my favorite speakeasy style bar here is Ghost Donkey, which also, won a huge award from Imbibe too. That opened in 2016, and that is also probably one of the first, if not the earliest. 2016, Ghost Donkey opened Beauty in Essex. There was one in New York first, and it's a speakeasy restaurant opened up here, and also Sidebar opened here. That was all 2016. So it's when the trend arrived, it came in a wave, and we have not stopped since.
And if people don't know, to get into Beauty in Essex, you're going through what is a pawn shop.
And
yeah.
So I really like Ghost Donkey because it is the one, because I was talking to our producer, Selena Reynolds, about this, and whenever she does a speakeasy, she doesn't tell people where she's taking them. Because for her, the only thrill is like her friend or family being like, where are we going? Is this right? That's it. That's the thrill of speakeasy. This is the only one where it won't be like we're going to a secret bar. I just take people to the food hall of the Cosmopolitan, Block 16. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So you just walk to the back past a Mexican restaurant, and there's a door with a picture of a little donkey on it, a sons of a donkey, and you open it up into this tiny yet raucous tequila bar. The drinks are excellent.
A lot of lights in there.
String lights.
I only remember it as dark. Oh, sure. Like lots of
like
little
Christmas
colorful lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a very like dark. It always feels like 2:30 a.m. there, no matter what time of day you're actually in there.
Yeah.
You can get excellent plates of nachos because you're going to drink tequila and get hungry. And like every time I've been there, even though it's crowded, there's like always a space, and it's a really, really good hang. The other one I got to shout out, I know we've all been to, is the Mob Museum. And I'm going to say what I like about it. And you tell me what you like about it.
The underground at the Mob Museum.
At the Mob Museum. So you go through the museum, and then you could have this choice to go downstairs to like what is a very posh, like cute. They really like play up the concept of a speakeasy and the stereotypes of it. But when you leave or when you enter from the outside, you're in this like festive bar, and then you open it up to like this blank stairwell behind the building and into a parking lot. Like literally from the outside, you would have no idea it's there. And I love how appropriately like a real speakeasy should look like you're not supposed to be there, right?
And then you go inside, and it's basically like the Prohibition-era wing of the Mob Museum, because you got some artifacts there that are legit.
Yeah.
You got live music that's kind of jazzy, and then drinks that are kind of true to the time and the artwork and all that.
They're a little over the top. I mean, they're good drinks. That's the problem.
And their own distillery that makes their own quote-unquote moonshine.
Yeah, well, they have a working still, and they have a secret room in there, and they actually have the little slide where the doorman can ask you what the password is. It's fun, and it really is historically, contextually appropriate for the Mob Museum. Come on.
And recently they did add an outdoor patio next to the parking lot, so it might become a little
more
less
obvious,
secluded, a little more obvious these days.
They actually serve drinks and books there, too, which is kind of fun.
It's a very romanticized speakeasy for sure, but I do love like how playful and over the top it is.
I want to shout out the Pier 17 Yacht Club. That's over by the Absinthe tent. You kind of have to walk up to a guy at a podium and pretend that you have reservations in the name of like Rosenberg or something. I can't even remember what it was.
In the Green Fairy Garden.
Yes, in the Green Fairy Garden, which also has the No Pants burgers, and you could order all that at the Speakeasy. Very excellent drinks and a little back patio of their own.
That's the name of the burgers, not a rule you have to follow.
Although you can follow that rule, and I think you either get a discount or even a free burger if you actually drop trow. I've heard that to be true. I guess go find out, and if you get arrested, I will give you a 10% discount on your defense.
Dayvid will represent you in court.
Oh, no, none of that's true. Go inquire first before you drop trow. Thank you. All right. The other one I want to mention is a brand new one. And I hate it, but I love it. And it's the Speakeasy behind the Creamery down in the Arts District. So this is in the
Craft Creamery.
The old lithograph building at 1 Main Street. It's in the back there, and you go into what appears to be an ice cream parlor, and you order 2 scoops, and then they wait for a while, and then they check your ID, and then you go through what appears to be a freezer door, and then you go into this beautiful, beautiful space. I've been there with Rob before. It's lovely. The cocktails are on point. The food is excellent, but you got to go through a lot of bullshit to get back there, but it is technically a speakeasy.
Dayvid doesn't like to work for it.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision-crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision-crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
For everyone that we've mentioned that we're like, either this is okay or we love this space. Okay, I do love Ghost Donkey and I feel cool going there. But for everyone we mentioned, it's like, I feel like there are 2 or 3 that have popped up recently. Like the craft creamery is really new. Like, do we have to? Do we need this?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question, right? Is the concept worth keeping up in the 2020s, or should this thing have stayed in the 1920s?
I think it adds a little bit of fun to the experience. I mean, we're talking about drinking here. We're not talking about the dentist's office, you know. Let's have a little fun going in through the entrance. Let's enjoy the experience once we're there. And once you do get to the Craft Creamery Speakeasy, which I think is technically called CC Speakeasy. That's like the name of it. It's beautifully designed. Like Dayvid said, it's great food. They do a really good job with the cocktails and just little fun twists. Like you can roll dice and they give you a custom cocktail based on the dice that you roll. I like a little fun mixed in with my booze because booze is pretty fun to begin with.
I don't know. Sarah, are you on Team Speakeasy or are you over
I can
this
hear
trend?
Sarah sighs through my headset.
It's like such it's a gimmick, right? If that's a great bar, why does it need a gimmick?
Yes, but this is Vegas.
Exactly. And I think that that's why it's sticking around here, because we do love a gimmick. I just, personally, I want to be able to look in the windows of a bar and see if I like the vibe and see if it's crowded or not, right? Is it the right amount of crowded? Is it too crowded? Like, I want to see. And like, how is it secret or illegal if you can make a reservation? Even the one in Absinthe, you can make a reservation when you buy Absinthe tickets, right?
Okay, but Sarah, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit, because you did say part of the fun is taking friends and not quite knowing where you're going, and
that's
all of a sudden
Reynolds, not
you show
me.
up. Oh, that was her. So you did not endorse this?
No.
Okay. Because I was going to say I had a similar experience taking my parents to the Silver Stamp, which is not a speakeasy, but it's a
very nondescript bar from the outside.
It's a tap house.
Yeah.
But you would never know it from the outside. And you're walking down a street where there's nothing going on, and then you walk inside and you're like, wow, look at this. Yeah. And I think that's, even though that's not a speakeasy, it kind of represents the charm of what makes a speakeasy fun. The surprise that's on the inside. It's like a peanut butter cup.
Well, and here's what doesn't make it fun. I was with our executive producer, Sonia Cho Swanson, and we were over at Resorts World for an event. And we're like, oh, I heard there was a speakeasy behind the noodle shop or whatever. And we went over there and we tried to get in. I think it was called the Kitty Kitty Vice Den. I think that's exactly what it was.
Kitty Vice Den.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, it'll be another, you got to wait. And they opened up the door and we saw in and we're like, you know what? We just saw in. We don't really need to go in now. So thanks for nothing. And we just kind of moved on. It just was like, it was an eye roll.
So I think one of the reasons that even we as locals love the Silver Stamp is that to me, it's very much mimics like a fraternal organization or like a sort of Eastern European or Italian social club vibe. Like it's like somebody's basement.
Like from the Midwest somewhere. Yeah. Somebody's Midwest basement.
So it reminds you of like these organizations you have to be a part of. And I think that like there is a thrill within belonging to these clubs. So I don't like the appropriation of the word speakeasy. Like it's because that's not what it is. They're not, but they're also not mimicking historical speakeasies. They're mimicking members-only clubs and like secret societies that the average person doesn't have the money or the family to get into. And like Vegas is a place that people come to pretend. So a friend of mine, Camper, shout out to Camper, Alcademics on Instagram, he mentioned that a lot of speakeasies are opened up in Honolulu too. So any of these sort of fantasy adjacent places that attract young tourists have a lot of speakeasies. So we're a place for people to come to pretend. We're a place where people want to
pretend you're affluent, that you're connected, that you've got juice.
And pretend that we're running from the law.
And that you're like, yes, all of those things. And that you're sexy and you're secret and you're infusing life into your relationship or whatever. Like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
I mean, who knew that a bar could be so empowering to make you feel like a king, a sultan in our city?
I think that's what they all do, right? It all comes back to the $1,000 steak in the end, right?
Oh,
that
Poppy.
is the key. That is like, what that side of Vegas is about, showing off that influence. And in a way, influence is even more elite when you don't have to show it off, when it's sort of secret. That's true wealth, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see if the speakeasy as speakeasy continues, it's not just a taco shop, let's go in the back. Or if, we get a little more upfront with it and just have really nice places to drink. I think that's all you really need. I'm with you, Sarah. I'm anti-speakeasy as a trend. Sorry, Rob.
Well, I'm going to fight both of you on this because I enjoy a good speakeasy. As long as the drinks are done right and you have bartenders who really know what they're doing.
Well, that's always the thing, isn't it?
Give me some gimmicks. I'm in Vegas. I can handle a gimmick or two.
All right, fair enough. Well, gimmick or not, they're definitely here for now. And I love talking about it with both of you. Sarah, Rob, thanks for joining me on this episode of CityCast Las Vegas.
Let's go get a drink right now.
Yeah. Thanks, Dayvid.
And that's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, go tell a friend. You can also rate our show, leave us a review, don't be secret about it, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Till then, stay lucky.